MAL. It contains strong language and is intended only for mature audiences.
The show that gives you everything and nothing at all. That's everywhere you don't want to be. It's Ruben, Mo B, and on the ones and twos, AG.
The 5-minute warning.
What's going on, everybody up in the house? Welcome to another episode of 5-Minute Warning. Once again, my name is Ruben, and of course, I'm here beside my mellow AG. What's going on, brother?
What's happening, y'all? How you doing?
Hey, man. You know, we're gonna be quick about it because we got a lot of stuff to go over today.
Okay.
But yeah, it was a pass interference, and they ain't call it. Sorry about your luck. We took that dub. We took that dub 2-0. And I'm going to say this because I'm going to say it. Throughout all the preseason, all I had to hear about was a damn AFC East. That's all I heard about. AFC East. AFC East. You know, the Jets, the Dolphins. Who cares? I mean, the Bills or whatever. And blah, 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 blah. All the blah, 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 blah. Can I say we never left? The NFC beast never left. 3 teams, 2-0. The other team is 1-1. And the only reason why they're 1-1 is because they played Philly. And somebody had to win, and somebody had to lose. All I'm saying is the beast has spoken, and I'm sick of hearing about the AFC East. I'm sick of hearing about Lamar Jackson, the South, anything in the AFC. Well, there's a murderer's row over there. What? The question is, who is going to represent the NFC in the Super Bowl from the NFC beast? Because it's either going to be one of us 4, because it doesn't look like, other than San Francisco. San Francisco.
You didn't have to mention them. They're in the West.
I understand that, but I got to give props. They're good. Tampa Bay still got that fool's goal going on, and they played a whole bunch of scrubs. I call it how I see it.
But they beat the teams they should beat, though.
Exactly.
And there's nothing wrong with that. That's the beginning of winning.
Absolutely.
Oh, beat.
So all I'm saying is,
you got a Raiders logo that's red? How'd you do that?
Because he on strike.
He on strike? What you mean?
He a Raiders fan, but he ain't trying to be, because he hates the people who run it. and we can't hear you, so clearly we got some microphone issues with Mo B.
I want to know why Tom Brady's ownership stake hasn't been approved. What in the world is going on with that?
He's probably hoping he can get the hell out of it.
Anyway,
we still can't hear you, Mo B. Check your settings, bro.
I want to congratulate the Redskins. I always felt like they were.
Excuse me?
Good.
The who?
I'm sorry. I want to the Washington football team. I don't really like Commanders. I'm sorry, but I want to congratulate them because they were low key good, and I didn't really know if it would pan out, but it has. I was impressed, especially when they were down 21-3. I was like, are they the old Redskins? Apparently not. However, I will say this about Denver: the players did not lose that game today. They were out-coached on both ends.
Coaching lost that game,
exactly.
Especially in the second half.
When Bieniemy made adjustments and everything that happened in the first half stopped happening, they didn't have an answer. And I was like, y'all got out-coached. That wasn't players.
Bieniemy made adjustments.
You can say what you want to say about Russell Wilson, but that wasn't the Russell Wilson today that had been going on all last season. That dude never had a shot to do anything.
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, y'all got out coached. Now,
Well,
I don't really know the X's and O's like y'all do, but it was obvious. If I can say it, I know it was obvious.
Look, man, Bieniemy made adjustments offensively, and for the first time in forever, Jack Del Rio made adjustments.
He did his thing today. He did. I might not like politics, but he did his thing today.
Yeah. So, like, something that we've never seen in a Washington uniform since Del Rio's been there. He put 5 people on the D line. Once that happened, it was over.
Does he not play over?
Practice? No, it's usually the front 4. Okay. But he added one more person in the second half. And that just that made their offensive line look terrible because it was 1-on-1. And for whatever reason, I don't even know who the offensive coordinator for Denver is. But they never adjusted to the fact that they were putting 5 in the box. Wow. So, hey, man, shout out to Del Rio and Bieniemy for making adjustments and doing what coaches are supposed to do. But, yeah, I would dare say that Denver got a big fat F in the second half.
Now, make sure you understand it. They got the coaches got a big fat F.
Yeah, the coaches.
This was not a player issue. This was not a player issue.
Yeah, because once you saw Wilson running for his life, the first 3 plays of the second half, a sack, a tackle for a loss, and a swatted down pass. Those were the first 3 offensive plays for Denver. And you didn't make any adjustments? Man, you had Russell running for his damn life back there. And you did nothing.
As long as we call spades. That's all I want to say. Yeah. That's all I want to say.
Moby.
Anyway, what's with the red Raider shield, bro? How'd you even do that?
Why not? I mean,
where'd you get that from?
I mean, I forgot what store I got it from. I just thought it was a cool hat.
It is. I've never seen that before.
Yeah.
Actually, some people call that blasphemy.
Well, so is that team.
Well, no, they're just not playing well. It's not blasphemy. They're just not playing well.
All right, Moby, tell them why they're not playing well.
I mean, I don't know why they're not playing well, but I do know that I don't like the coach. I think the owner's an idiot. And I mean, as much as I want the Raiders to win, part of me it's self-sabotaging if they do win, because that means they'll keep the coach and they'll keep doing things the way they've been doing. So part of me is like, I'm all right with losing if I think that means they'll get a new coach, because I just don't understand why we still keep trying to recycle Bill Belichick assistant coaches in the NFL. Like, it doesn't work. I mean, hell, Bill Belichick hasn't really worked since Tom Brady left, if we want to be honest. Like,
no one wants that kind of honesty, sir. I like it, but apparently no one else does.
I mean, and I don't think that's any shade on Bill Belichick. It's just,
no, it's shade on Bill Belichick because he acted like he was doing it by himself.
I mean,
the guy has more hubris than I care to mention. He thought he was doing all that by himself.
I mean, look, man, he's a disciple of Bill Parcells, man, and the one thing Bill Parcells didn't have was humility either. Like, they had the Bill Parcells guys, and then for a long time it's been Belichick guys. He keeps recycling the same guys and hoping it works. And for a long time, I mean, honestly, I feel like Tom Brady's greatness is magnified at the fact that Bill Belichick doesn't seem like he has a fucking clue since Tom Brady's left.
That's always been the case.
Well,
I mean, Bill Belichick is a great defensive mind, probably one of the best defensive minds ever. But I mean, Tom Brady kind of has held that ship together like the last 10 years.
Yeah, but you know what? I would say this: not Belichick. What's his name? Parcells and Nick Saban got something in common. They both win chips. But as far as predecessors go, there's really only one of each that has done anything. For Parcells, it's been Belichick. And for Saban, it's been Kirby Smart. Because literally, Saban can't beat Kirby Smart right now. And, Parcells don't coach anymore. And if he did, he'd probably lose to Belichick.
Well, my only problem with any of this is the fact that all the coaches that you've mentioned think they can do it without dogs. You can't do it without personnel.
Well, I don't think Kirby Smart's like that. No, well, Kirby Smart got dogs.
He will
literally.
Well, that's true. DAWG dogs. But what I'm saying to you is, when you win enough, you think that your system is so amazing that you don't need players, and that's what Nick Saban is going through right now. That's what Bill Belichick went through when he. See, and my problem with Bill Belichick is I wouldn't feel as strongly about it if I didn't know he didn't try to get rid of Brady 5 or 6 years before he wanted to retire to start with. Well, and I'm like, bro, you aren't that good. You're just not. There is no coach that can out-coach lack of personnel. Not one.
Amen.
I mean, that's true.
If you don't have personnel, whatever you have on paper means nothing.
And that's why I think Kirby Smart's the differentiator. Because Kirby Smart has got people.
Well, see, this is what I'm talking about. When you have people and you're winning, you think it's you. I'm talking about the human condition. It's just coaching is the backdrop.
But that's why I think Kirby Smart's different.
I don't know, man. When you listen to Kirby Smart talk, Kirby really does not like to take credit for anything.
Yeah,
he is the first. He's the first to say his offensive coordinator and defensive coordinator are great. That they recruit well. He's like, man, I got the best recruiting coaching staff in college. And I think a lot of that comes from he coached under Saban, and he probably coaching under Saban probably felt underappreciated.
Yeah,
and I think he's probably like, I don't ever want to make my people feel that way.
Well, I hope that's the case in 3 national championships, and that's what I was saying before. When you go to 9 Super Bowls and you win 6 titles, it's like you think it's you. It's not.
It might not have all been him, but there was a formula there. There was a formula there that was working.
I'm not saying that it wasn't, but if you don't have dogs, baby, you ain't going nowhere.
But
you're not.
Yeah, but that Giants Super Bowl in the what was it, 91? No, 1990 with Phil Simms. That was him.
Okay, we could have been having a whole different conversation if Norwood makes the field goal. I don't really count that. I don't. I mean, I'm glad they won, and they did win as a W, but let's not mistake how that happened. They were struggling that entire game because Buffalo was giving them the business, and it went down to the last play. I'm not saying either team was bad. I'm just saying that they didn't walk in there and dominate anything. They didn't. So let's be real right now. Only thing I'm saying to you right now is the fact that if you win enough as a leader, you tend to think it's your leadership that does everything. It does not. You have to have people that are following you that are good enough to execute what's in your mind. And if you're not good enough to convey that, if you're not good enough to keep them on board and buying in, then you suck anyway. So I'm just letting you know. That's just a human condition. The coaching is the backdrop. I'm just talking about people and their hubris. That's all I'm talking about. Now, I hope Kirby Smart stays the way he is. That'd be great. But I saw Dabo Swinney go through the same thing. He was all shucks until he won 3 national championships. And then all of a sudden, he had a whole bunch of stuff to say. Now he can't beat people in which should be a tune-up game. He had no business losing to Duke. I'm going to take that W, but he had no business losing to Duke. Now he's finding out that you need to deal with certain things that has nothing to do with you to win. And it's called having personnel. Everybody else is going everywhere else. I'm just saying.
Well, that and he does it like the transfer portal.
Well, again, he has to deal with what is in front of him. That's a big reason why Deion is showing them a lot of things they don't want to hear. Because Deion was like, that's a tool and y'all not using it? Well, I'm going to use it. It's like college free agency.
That's an apples to orange comparison because it's easy for somebody like Deion Sanders to use the transfer portal because at the end of the day, he's Deion.
I understand that, but what I'm telling you is it got used. And it got used because he used it in a way in which no one wanted to. And the only reason it was there for him to use it the way in which he did is because they were too busy complaining about the good old days. They're too busy complaining about what players shouldn't be able to do and what money they shouldn't get. Meanwhile, coaches like Deion is like, well, since it's here, why don't I use it? Because like he said, it's a college free agency.
I mean, I agree with you on that.
The powers that be don't like that.
I hate the old school coaches that just keep talking about how they don't like the transfer portal, because honestly, the transfer portal just takes control from them.
Exactly.
I mean, I don't necessarily like the reasoning that everybody uses the transfer portal, but I'm never going to be against player freedom. And because I know firsthand that coaches used the ability to block transfers and stuff like that as a way to basically control you.
Exactly. And that's what they don't like. It's like we talk about race in this country every week. And a lot of the reason why, white America sounds the way it does is because they feel as though they're losing control that they're used to having. It has nothing to do with anything else. That is the core of it. The same in sports. So yeah, all coaches, except for the few, and hopefully they stay, those coaches that we're talking about stay that way. But usually what happens is you are a leader of men and you win all these national championships, and it gets to you in a way in which develops all this hubris and you think it's you. It's not. You have a great plan and you have great personnel to execute that plan. And when you forget that, you end up looking like Dabo Swinney talking about, I've never been a part of a game like this when you lost to Duke. You have no business losing to Duke, but you did. And that W is forever etched in my mind because I remember all that foolishness that he said, and it wasn't cool. Well, here you are. I'm just saying. Belichick's the same way. Try to get rid of Tom Brady. You finally got rid of him, and here you are. Making a defensive coordinator that's recycled an offensive coordinator and then trying to blame it on a quarterback. Man, long walk, short pier, bro. That's all I'm saying.
All right.
So the message is fuck Belichick. That's pretty much what the message sounds like. It's
about as succinct as it could be put. Yes.
And I didn't say it this time. So awesome. Cool.
Anyway, congratulations to the Redskins. That was a great game. I mean, the Washington,
the Commandos. The Commandos.
I'm not doing that.
But that's the name, man.
I know, but the Washington.
I know. Get over it. Get over it.
Washington football team. Congratulations.
Get over it. Get over it.
Thank you. Thank you. Congratulations. Thank you.
Jesus, man.
Congratulations.
See, this is y'all, man, who can't move on. Can't move on. All right.
I wanted to be a Washington football team. I can't.
Well, guess what? You can't. You got to move on. Got to move on. All right. So, couple things I want to talk about today. Couple quick hits. So we're gonna talk about some real life shit right now because we do, but we'll talk about some shit that don't have shit to do with us. How about that? So, man, the strike.
I got all sorts of words to say about that, sir.
Oh my God.
That's firsthand knowledge, sir.
So I was about to say, AG, you have worked for a company such as
Ford Motor Company.
Okay, I wasn't gonna put it out there, but if you want to, that's fine. So have you ever been involved in one of these?
No, I came down. My strike experience came down in the last 15 minutes.
So it was about 15 minutes. It was about
it was quarter to 11, and we didn't know what we were gonna do.
And then they called it off.
They got it together.
Okay, so I mean, so talk to me. What's any expertise you have?
Absolutely. I don't call it expertise, but I certainly have experience and I understand what's going on. This is what's happening. When I left in 90, I left in 07.
Mm-hmm.
And at that point, they were kind of, shaving stuff off and getting lean and all the things. They made a lot of great decisions, and it has paid off for them in a big way. They stopped selling cars except for the Mustang. They went to manufacturing basically all SUVs and trucks. All the things that they changed, all the things that I heard about before I left, all that stuff came to fruition. It was a great move. Meanwhile, the company wasn't necessarily doing that well at the time because of all the changes and all of the changes in consumer behavior. So the union gave concessions, meaning there were no pay raises, significant pay raises. I think they still got a cost of living, but there were no significant pay raises. The pay scale that wasn't grandfathered in was entirely different than anything that we were used to. You had guys coming in well under $20 an hour. Like at this point, they can work at Target and make more money. The benefits, they had to start paying for benefits and this and that, where I didn't have to pay for those things. So those were concessions
Mm-hmm.
And I think they happened over a couple of contract negotiations, because the way we see it is, if there's no Ford, there's no us. So we're going to give you a little bit of a stay so you can get yourself together. And the expectation was you're going to return the favor.
And they got themselves together.
And they did not return the favor.
Okay.
And so when they came to the table this time, they won't try and hear and, behave like what I just said existed at all.
Yep.
And I'm like, and I'm sitting in my here to myself, I'm like, are you effing serious right now, bro? All the money that we could have gotten, we chose to not get, plus give you some. And now we ain't gonna get no get back. Are you for real? Oh, no. Because I'm going to say this again. If you were to go work for Ford Motor Company right now, it's not worth the wear and tear on your body, the heat in the summertime, because you can go to McDonald's and make as much money. You talking about dudes coming into Ford, rookies coming into Ford making $15, $16 an hour. What? No. And if you don't want to return the favor, then we have a problem. And until you get your mind right, then we just not gonna make nothing. Now the UAW covers more than Ford. It covers Daimler Chrysler or Dodge, however you want to say it. It covers General Motors and all the car manufacturers under the General Motors umbrella. And if you don't think that the other car makers that aren't UAW aren't salivating right now, you're high. Now, every 10 days you're going to lose $5 billion. And this is how they did it. It was genius. I thought about Moby because I was like, yeah, you got to respect that hustle. Because what's happening is it's not a across the board strike.
Yeah. It's parts at a time.
Right. But see, here's the thing. Eventually, the little assembly plant here or the manufacturer of this there or whatever it is going to matter, because along the line, as you put the truck together, as you put the car together, you're going to look around in your bin and your bin is going to be empty. And once your bin is empty from said part, the line stops, or the line keeps going and they fill up empty parking lots full of cars and trucks. Or it never gets to that point because they don't have wheels. At the end of the day, you can't move. You will come to a screeching halt. I'm getting paid to do nothing because my bin of bolts that hold the chair in or the seat in is empty. And that company, the people that work for that company, like, yeah, we're good, because they're not a third-party supplier. And so all the people that Ford, gobbled up to make everything under the Ford system, if those people go on strike, intermittently, eventually you're gonna get shut down. There's nothing you can do about it because you can't replace those, because you don't do business the way you used to, where you have a supplier here and a supplier to back up that supplier and a supplier to back up that supplier. There's nothing you can do. Eventually you will come to a screeching halt, and that's where you start hemorrhaging money. Now it's like kids and parents. I say it all the time. You can pay me now or you can pay me later, but I promise you, when you pay me later, you're going to wish you paid for me now. So all they had to do was say, hey, the last 2 contract agreements y'all got us, and we got you now. This is what we're doing, whatever, this is what we got to offer, blah, 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 this and that and the other. They didn't want to do that. So that's where we are right now. They about to find out, because they effed around for like 8 years. They about to find out.
Awesome. So how long do you think this is really going to go? Seriously.
I think it's going to go a long time, because here's the thing. It's just like the movie industry. I don't think it'll go as long as the movie industry goes, because the movie industry has a backlog of things that they can put out. Where car manufacturers, it kind of makes it apples and oranges. However, if you let this go too long and people start buying, non-UAW cars from their car makers,
like Honda and all that,
all those things, then you're going to have a problem because you're hemorrhaging money, and the customer that had just bought a new Honda or Volkswagen, they're not going to be back for another 3 years if they come back at all. Because it's like letting your husband sleep with another woman. That booty might be good for real. They ain't coming back home. Just saying. They don't know that, but if you let them out in the street and they find out, you're going to be out back.
Awesome. All right.
Yeah, Lauren says don't give him a hall pass. That's funny.
Hey, we haven't got that far yet.
I know, that's so funny. But anyway, so that's how the mechanics of this is going to go. I don't think Ford in particular can afford the amount of money they are going to lose if this goes on for 2 or 3 months. All you have to do is go back to a couple of years ago when all car manufacturers were having problems because they didn't have semiconductors.
Yep.
Everybody was hurting, dealers, everyone was hurting because they couldn't sell something that didn't exist. They had lots and lots and lots full of cars that didn't have, an electronic brain. And then, so you can't replace it. Well, see, instead of it being something natural, this is what a strike will do to a company. And if the employees can last long enough, then it could bring a company to its knees, to the point to where they may not come back at all. So they can play around if they want to, because leadership tends to think that employees don't matter. Well, okay, they can't arrest us all. Remember that.
Gotcha. How you doing, Black Morticia? Alex Mocha Cowboy? What's going on? Everybody else out there, thanks for watching and listening. What you got, Moby? Any opinion?
Man, I'm always pro union, and I know that sounds weird, but like I'm, when I saw the CEO get on CNN a couple nights ago and say, well, we wanted to come to the negotiating table with a legit deal, but they were disingenuous. The demands that they want will bankrupt our company. I was like, bro, you've been making too much money for too long for me to think as just anybody who's in the business world is going to be like, yeah, Ford is going to be hurting if they pay y'all. Bro, no, you don't want to have to tell your shareholders you're paying this much money, because then you're afraid that some of them high-level CEOs and stuff won't get the money. This is never an issue of profit. Like, paying more money to the employees is not going to really hurt Ford's bottom line. It's going to hurt the profits that the people who make the most money off of it see. But you're not going to tell me that given some of the demands that these, because I saw a short list of some of the stuff that they were trying to come to the table with, and I'm like, none of it seemed unreasonable. And just like you were saying, AG, like the wages that they were talking about as a baseline, it's like, yeah, why am I going to work in a factory to make that when I could go work at a fast food chain or Walmart and make that and not have to be in a factory?
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought up the wages of the because I forgot to mention that the executive wages, because here's the thing. While they were taking our concessions, their executive wages were going through the freaking
going up. They were going up.
And they got nerve to come back to me talking about it's a me problem. It's the same thing. Lauren and I were coming back home this weekend from a day trip, and we were talking about, she was telling me about Bloomberg complaining that workers need to come back to the office. Then he went further to say why, which is we have all these buildings out here that are lying empty. Well, wait a minute, sir. This is capitalism. If you build a building, you are rolling the dice that somebody's going to fill that building. If no one fills that building, guess what? That's a you problem. But you're going to put that back on the me to come back to work when I am clearly having fun working from home. I clearly have a better family life and work balance working from home. But it's a me problem? I can still produce working from home, but it's a me problem? No, sir. That's not how capitalism works.
No, what Bloomberg should have came back with and said, which is a perfectly reasonable argument, a lot of downtowns are dying because people work from home, and not because of the people who own the buildings. I'm thinking about all of the businesses and small businesses around downtown
who set up because of them.
Yeah, that depended on the traffic that came from those offices,
Yeah.
the restaurants, the building, the businesses around the downtown areas who basically survived off of the workers that came there.
Yeah.
Those businesses are dying. So if you're gonna come to me with the economy argument, that's the argument you need to come with, not the hey, us rich guys that own these buildings are hemorrhaging money because nobody's leasing our buildings out.
Well, he did come with that, but what I'm saying to you is, how come everything has to come back on me or you?
Oh no. What I'm saying is, I just think the people relate more to the idea that there are a lot of mom and pop businesses that gathered around downtowns thinking that this was going to be a great place for their business. Those people are hurting. I'm not feeling sorry for billionaires who happen to have real estate that's unoccupied. I'm more hurting for the people who had businesses around the downtown areas who now are forced to try to figure out what they're going to do.
Understood. Yeah. But I just want to let you know how, just like everything else, racism, inequality, whether it's race or ethnicity or gender, it's real funny how capitalism is a problem when the powers that be are getting the shaft. I always thought that was just a little funny, because when we're getting the shaft, which is most of the time, everything cool. It's capitalism. When they're getting the shaft, it's a freaking problem. No, it's not a problem, Mr. Social Person, Mr. Socialist. Why are you being a socialist right now? You know why? Because it's hurting you. Well, capitalism doesn't really care. Capitalism is survival of the fittest, and if you die, you freaking die. I don't mean to go Ivan Drago on you, but you don't matter.
You die.
Exactly. So
a lot of the less pigment having people feel like capitalism is fair when it benefits them, and it's unfair when it doesn't. And the idea of capitalism, to be honest, is we're not starting this race from the same starting line. If you come from a family of wealth, it is easier for you to be more successful in a capitalistic society because you have the means to do so.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas somebody who literally has to do that American dream thing, lift himself up by the bootstraps, yes, that person can survive and thrive in capitalism, but we're not starting this race from the same starting line. So the fact that they always scream fairness when they're losing is just disingenuous.
Exactly. That's all I'm saying. I just feel like you need to compete. If whatever you're doing right now is not competing, then you can lose. Take that L, keep it moving. But anyway, just so many funny things. But it's just so many funny things in the world.
Mocha Cowboy, maybe downtowns get some bootstraps.
They don't know what bootstraps are. They just like saying it.
Hilarious.
We're getting a strap on right now, though.
Oh. All right. Moby, I'm going to come to you with this one. Hey, man, that Texas Attorney General who stole all that money and did all that other repugnant shit, he got acquitted after his own people sent him up to get impeached. They then turned around and acquitted him. What the hell? What's your opinion on that?
Why are you surprised?
I'm not surprised. I'm just like, why'd you even put him up there if you're just going to acquit him? That's like dumb. It's a waste of time. Time and taxpayer money.
For sure. And here it is. This is the funny thing about white collar crime. And this is why so much white collar crime gets off. Because when you catch somebody that does white collar crime, they usually know other people who do white collar crime. And a lot of times those people who are doing the white collar crime are the ones accusing the other ones. And they were probably like, hey man, we gotta lock you up. And he was probably like, well, I got a lot of shit to say then. And they was like, well, you know what? We'll get you off.
That's literally what happened. Because they made the Republicans in Texas put him up for what's that thing that Donald Trump had twice already?
Impeachment.
Yeah. Thank you. And
15 articles of impeachment?
Yeah, 15 articles of impeachment. 16 articles of impeachment. None of them. And I was just like, so why y'all Dog and Pony Show? Really? That's what
Yeah,
Yes.
no, because what happened is they probably thought, well, maybe this dude would take on for the team, and he probably went in there and like, yeah, man, y'all about to have to call me Senator Snitch, because I'm telling on everybody.
He said Senator Snitch.
He's about to be like, I'm telling on everybody.
But you would have thought they would have thought about that before they tried to impeach him.
No, because again, man, leadership and hubris. Like we just finished talking about.
Hey, they probably thought, hey man, we got stuff on him. He would never. He probably was in there, hey man,
Shit.
if he Nino Browned him, man. He was like, hey, it was a light skinned nigga at the bank. Like, you know, this thing bigger than Nino Brown.
Oh damn. That's funny.
Oh,
Nino Brown reference in Texas.
Oh
Never seen it.
man. Oh man. I haven't seen that movie in years. Oh, I gotta see it now.
Oh, it's on Stars.
Bigger
Like
than
every
Nino
damn day.
Brown. It's on Stars.
Every damn day. God
Okay.
knows. It ain't Baby Boy yet, but it's getting there.
But I'm just saying, like, look, that is really what happens in white collar crime. Like, hey, we gotta get this guy, and that guy goes, all right now. Like, I mean, look, y'all can do that, but just
All I'm
know,
saying,
just know,
yeah.
I'm telling on everybody.
I mean, and if something happened to me, or I even smell the inside of a jail,
It's basically the
somebody's gonna
sibling.
get an envelope.
It's the sibling thing, man. You ain't gonna go tell on your sibling because they're like, hey, okay, you go tell mama if you want. But remember, I was there when you did that.
Mhm.
So
And I ain't say shit.
if you tell on her, you tell on me, I might have to tell on you.
I ain't going down by myself.
Truth.
Ah.
This thing bigger than Nino Brown.
Speaking of Nino Brown, they finally caught that dude in Pennsylvania who escaped out of jail.
Dude
Bro.
came out of jail clean shaven.
Did you see how
Oh,
he got
man.
out of jail? The
Oh,
crab
man.
walk up the
Oh man.
bro. Like,
How can you even call yourself like how does a dude just grab walk out of jail?
first of all, that's hella impressive.
It is.
Second of all, that's the second time that shit happened. And they thought they fixed it, but this dude was like,
Y'all ain't
nah,
fixing it.
bro. you need to do it better.
And was gone for 2 weeks.
Yes, 2 weeks. They shut down schools
Yep.
and everything. You had people on CNN getting interviewed about, basically, well, we got about 6 acres back there, and they've come and searched my house 5 times already. And her husband is looking right. He got that look, man. I wish he would fuck around and find out. Like, he was like, my Second Amendment about to get some work.
Man, I like the parts where they were showing the different cameras that caught him. He looking like Sasquatch, man.
Oh man, that's so
He looking like that picture of Sasquatch, man. He ain't even real no more. I was like, what in the world? How does dude stay gone for 2 weeks? Y'all ain't catch up for 2.
Because he was in the
man,
woods. He was
Bro.
in the woods, man.
Bro, how do you get clean shaven in the woods? He came back from being in the woods cleaner than when he left. What does
Bro.
that say about our penal system, man?
I mean,
Oh
but
man,
the dude crab walked out the damn jail, man.
bro.
He crab walked up.
And they showed it on camera, and I was
Yeah,
like,
why
okay,
would
this
you
is-
show it
this
on
is on camera, and y'all still got, you know what? Never mind.
You need to fire the people who watch the cameras, because nobody caught him.
Apparently, nobody. This dude was watching NFL Sunday Ticket.
Before the NFL was on, he was watching reruns.
Yes.
Moby, what you got, man?
I mean, here's the thing. Like, no, man. I don't want y'all to start laughing, but I think it's
about to be funny.
No, I think it's a shame they're about to try to add more time on it, man. Because like, I feel like if you escape from prison and they catch you, or if you escape from any jail and they catch you, we shouldn't add more time. We should basically take some time off of your sentence, because basically you alerted us to a loophole in our system. This dude did a public service announcement. He basically was like, look, I showed you where the flaw was.
But he was the second one who did that.
Once again, and the first person should have got some time off, and then everybody who didn't listen should be fired. Because, like, yo, hey, we told you how we can get out of here, and you still let it happen. Like, look, we all got a job here to do. I'm a prisoner. It's my job to stay in prison. You're the prison guards. It's your job to make sure I can't get out. Why should I be punished because you weren't doing your job effectively?
That's kind of fair.
He's not wrong.
Except that, it is against the law to sneak out of jail.
Once again, I get that. I get it. I get it. But at the same time, it's like it's their job to make sure I can't. So what penalty do they have? Are those dudes gonna get locked up because they didn't do their job? No. So why should he get more time because he notified a flaw? And look, the dude just went camping. Like for all intents and purposes, the dude just went camping.
I don't know if he just went camping. How can he be clean shaven? He looked cleaner when he was captured.
Because he had help on the outside.
Exactly.
This is a plan.
That's all I'm saying.
I mean, you can say he had help on the outside, or maybe he just ran into like really decent people, and somebody was just like, hey, what you doing out here in the woods, man? Hey, man, I got lost. You got a blade so I can shave? You know what? I can give you a bath and a shower. We're good Samaritans. We're gonna help somebody out.
And they're gonna find some bodies in a week.
This is the part of the show where Moby's completely off the rails, but it's so
no. Here's the thing. You're right. No good deed goes unpunished. I'm not saying anybody who was nice to this dude was smart, but at the same time, if you didn't know, and I mean, because look, those woods out there, they say a lot of hunters go out there, a lot of campers. Like to me, it wouldn't seem that odd for somebody to be like, "Yo, I got lost from my camp. Can you help a brother out?" And they'd be like, "No, man, I can give you a sandwich or something," but that's about it.
But I mean, at some point, he was still wearing the orange jumpsuit and the white butter cookies on his feet. Come on, man.
First of all, the orange jumpsuit really kind of looked like the hunter gear too, especially if you roll it down to your waist. You know what I'm saying?
You're not wrong about that part.
Did he? I don't think he used his shoes to get out. I thought he was barefoot.
I think you're right about that. I think you might be right about that part.
Hey, because look, man, if you're gonna do it, you need all the muscles in your foot.
Either way, he snookered the whole clean code.
He's not white. He's Mexican.
No. What I'm saying is, like, AG, if he hangs out with white friends, we know that they have unreasonable pranks. So would it be that odd for him to come out and be like, "Yo, I was camping and hunting with my friends, and these motherfuckers thought it'd be funny to leave me out here"?
That's foul.
That is completely plausible. You know it. Stop shaking your head like he ain't wrong. Like
I've not said that he was. I would not entertain this, sir. But I'm not gonna say he was wrong. He is wrong. Wow. So yeah, they caught his ass, and he looked pretty pitiful going back to jail. But then again, why wouldn't you look pitiful? Too.
Exactly.
Yeah. He had a taste of freedom, and they took that shit. Now he's gonna be in the hole forever. So before we go to our question, we're gonna switch it up. We're gonna do a quick clip of the week. So I got 3 of them, and they're all hilarious. I gotta show them in the right order though, because one is especially for Moby. We're gonna show this one first because this is for all my football fans out there. Yeah, you already know what's coming. Let's see. All right, for all my football fans out there.
Go Birds! Let's go Birds! ELGS!
What? Because I was talking over it. White America just loves that stuff, man.
and
we don't claim them. More Black Morticia Adams say we don't MF and claim that.
Yeah. I did not go searching for that.
You don't have to. You don't have to.
Here's the thing, man. I get we can laugh and be like, "Oh, people don't know how to spell," but let's be honest. Most of the time, those people get interviewed like that. Those dudes are blitzed. You know what I'm saying? Like, how many drinks has she had before then? Like, just come on, man. Like, you gotta let some shit slide.
No, you can't let that slide.
You gotta let it slide, AG. Because here's what you say. Exactly what you said. White people love clips like that. Cause they love clips like that. And then you saw the dude, like, he knew she spelled it wrong.
So
He
how
knew she spelled it wrong
when they both drinking the same drinks.
Hey, look, man, alcohol affect different people, different level of tolerances, man. Like, hey, look, we got belligerent drunks, we got freaky drunks, we got unintelligent drunks. Man, there's all types of drunks, man. Like, but you could tell he knew she spelled it wrong, and he was just being a supportive dude. He was like, "Hey, look, I knew what you was trying to spell, baby. Like, it's okay. I ain't get with you because you could spell. Like, I got spell check on my computer. I don't need that. I don't need that out of you."
You know, when you defend somebody, man, it's the funniest thing ever.
You should have been a lawyer. For real. You need to be an entertainment
I'm not
lawyer.
doing this with you. I am not doing it.
I'm not defending. Look, I'm not defending the fact that she misspelled it or the fact that she was loud and proud about it. I'm simply saying she ain't the first motherfucker to misspell something. Like, I'm just saying.
Oh, so that's the road we gonna go down.
No, I'm just saying. Like, look.
Oh God.
If we're gonna measure your intelligence based on one drunken moment with a microphone in front of you, then F it. We all done.
Like what I was feeling some kind of way though, boy.
No,
like,
man, ain't no excuse.
Ain't no excuse.
They were loud, confident, and wrong.
I mean, look. I mean, why can't we expect them to be right if they're Eagles fans?
Oh, that's cool. See, now you're gonna take it somewhere else. Really?
Thank you. I was hoping for somebody would say that.
No.
That way I didn't have to. All right. Number 2. This is this is funny. I'm not gonna set it up. It's just what it is.
EGLES Eagles, baby.
Oh, what?
Let me see. Do it again.
Get that shit out of here, man.
Oh.
No easy buckets, man.
First of all, look at this. What is this? He got like 5 kids when they grow up.
Come on, baby. Get it.
There you go, my man. That's around to find out.
See, here's the problem though. Why is she laughing?
Because it's funny.
Because it's street
He
ball.
should have been being a jerk to start with.
You said with street ball.
Street ball, baby.
Ain't no easy baskets.
No easy
No
buckets,
easy
man.
defending either.
I did that shit with my kids. No easy buckets.
Did they
Like,
hit you in the nuts?
nah, because I'd hit them back.
When you got
I didn't say hit him in the nuts. I said I hit him back. I'd have hit him back.
Like, how you gonna do that? Base 2 made 1. Yeah, Russ. Bust 2 made 1. Yeah, that was funny. Now this is one for Moby himself. He would enjoy this one. It's great. Once again, none of these are my clips.
You keep saying that I would enjoy all of them. I didn't enjoy
No.
girls misspelling it. And I don't enjoy anybody getting hit in the testicles for any reason.
All right. So, all right, here we go.
What have you realized you like less and less the older you get?
Kids. Fuck these kids. Mainly my kids, but just all the kids. That's right. Now I love them. I don't like them. I don't. You see, I legit clean my house just so I can go back and clean my house. I don't even look at my bank account no more because it don't do nothing but make me cry. All the damn shit they need something all the time. Ain't no such thing as privacy. My stomach was hurting the other day. I tried to go boo-boo. My daughter got her fingers under the door talking about, what you doing, Daddy? I'm trying to use the bathroom. Damn. Can't you? And I tried to sell them once, put them up on Etsy. Got a phone call and a knock at the door. Apparently that's frowned upon. Yeah, but just in general with the kids. You know that old saying, only couches pull out? That's bullshit. I'm out of there. I'm gone. Get out.
So what do you think, Moby?
I don't think that's accurate. I mean, I knew I didn't like him before I had him.
Wow.
I mean, look, wait, well, y'all laughing at the wrong thing. I'm just saying, like, I knew kids were the enemy before I had them. I made a decision to procreate because I was like, I'm gonna love them. I mean, but I didn't think I was gonna like kids more all of a sudden. Like I'd been around kids before.
I want to know. Look, I want to know why he had to jump in the camera and talk about some kids. Fuck them kids.
Man.
I think there are other things that I could think of that I like less the older I get.
Like what?
Casual conversation.
Don't like wasting that time. Huh?
I thought it was just me. I thought,
the older I get, the less I really want to have small talk with people, even people I care about. Like even people I care about.
Even Winter?
Even people I care about.
Wow.
Hilarious.
Oh
He said even people I care about.
But here's
I don't
the
want to
thing.
call no names.
Here's the thing, man. It ain't that like I like you less or like the person less. It's like the older we get, it's like, what are we talking about? Like, look, yo, how many all right, you've been married for a while now. How many responses are basically autopilot for you now? Like
A few.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? So you're not even having an actual conversation. You're at a concert having a call and response.
Wow. Can't wait to hear this one, boy.
But I mean, I am engaged, but he's not wrong. He's not wrong. Sometimes it's like
I'm engaged too, but sometimes it's exhausting to be engaged because sometimes I want to be disengaged. Bro, like every morning I wake up, I know like most of the sentences I'm gonna have in my house within the first 20 minutes. I'm gonna get the, hey, did you sleep well? I mean, I slept all right. Oh, what's wrong? Why didn't you sleep good? Well, silence is going. Oh, was it because I left the fan on? Yeah, because it's always because you leave the fan on. Like, because you know that's what happens. Like,
he talks like Winter ain't listening to this. Oh my god.
Hey man.
But the thing is, like, once again, I'm not saying I don't like talking to people. I'm just saying the casual conversation gets exhausting. Like, you know how exciting it is to have conversation with somebody I don't know? Because it's like, hey, you might say some new shit. Like you might say something to me that no one has ever said to me. But the people who are in your life every day, AG, how many times do you get a surprising statement at home?
Not often.
And when you do, it's like you don't even know how to respond to it. Like, what'd you say? Bro, like, I feel like the older I get, I'm starting to become deaf, and not because I can't hear, but because like when I hear anything that I'm not prepared for, it's like my brain don't compute it.
I feel like
the other day, when it was like, "Hey, I'll drive," and I was like, "What'd you say?"
Drive where?
Like what?
Drive where?
And she's like, "I'll drive," and I'm like, no,
where?
I'm good. I'm good.
What's she driving? I need to know what she's driving to.
It don't even matter. I just wasn't ready to hear that.
Nah, I'm not ready to hear that. What are you talking
about? Especially without it being posed as a fake question. Because usually it gets posed as a fake question. Usually it gets posed as a, do you need me to drive? Fake question. Fake question. But for it to be posed as like something that she was already prepared to do, like, hey, I'll drive. I excuse me? What'd you say?
Excuse me.
All right, where the pipe at? And
I'm just saying, so that's why, like, as I get, I have that book in my house because it's like one of my wife's favorite books, The Coldest.
Shocker.
You're about to live it now.
No, look, man, she knows what I mean. And like I said, it's not that I don't enjoy talking, but like the older I get, the less I want to have casual conversation, because it's like, yo, we already know where this conversation is going to end. So why are we going through the motions to get there? Like,
He's not wrong.
I hear the question, hey, can I ask you a question? And she goes, why does your shoulders always drop every time you say that? Because I'm like, we could have skipped that initial question and you could have just asked the question. But now when you say, can I ask you a question? Now I got to go through my head and go, all right, did I do something wrong? Is she about to ask me some hypothetical question that there's no way my logical, analytical brain could ever compute and process in a way that she would make her feel like I was really engaged with this conversation?
Oh, shit. This is funny.
Because I'm not good at that. Like, you asked me a hypothetical, like, hey, babe, you know, if I lost one of my hands, do you think you, first of all, why the fuck did you lose your hand?
Hilarious.
I mean, here's the thing. I'm not good at hypotheticals because I want to know the details to get to that hypothetical.
First of all,
you can't just say, if I were to lose my hand, nah, baby. You need to tell me how you lost your hand.
Nah,
Like,
man.
if you lost your hand in some apocalyptic Walking Dead thing where you got bit and you had to cut your hand off, that's way different than I lost my hand because I decided to put it in a paper shredder. Like, it's different. Like,
hey, if your paper shredder cut her hand, I don't want nothing to do with that motherfucker.
I mean, you know what I'm saying though. Like, I hate hypothetical questions because hypothetical questions make me have questions. Like, don't ask me no hypothetical question you want me to give you the answer, because I got too many questions towards your hypothetical. Like, and now we got to have a 25-minute conversation about fictitious shit. Just made up shit, and I gotta actually try to imagine how I would feel in this fictitious realm. Like, it's like you're asking me to be in the multiverse, and like, hey, how would you be in another dimension? Fuck if I know.
It's a shame only like 20 people listen to this podcast. Lord knows, man, if we ever get to the point where like hundreds of people listen to our old shit, they're gonna be like, what have I been missing in my life?
Oh,
because
look, man, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to go off on this rant, but like, yeah, when you say what are some things that I enjoy less as I get old, casual conversation, hypothetical questions, figuring out what I'm gonna eat tonight.
General stupidity.
No, AJ, don't act like you ain't been a part of some hypothetical conversation. You were watching TV and some dude on the show did some repugnant, fucked up shit, and now she looking at you going, well, babe, if this was us and this and that, first of all, no, don't do that. No, don't put me in a position. Look, I do enough shit to put myself in bad situations. I don't need to go off on your fake bad situation. Like, I don't need to be put in this environment in which I have no control over the hypothetical circumstances that I'm being placed into.
Well, you know what? I understand you, but actually, I don't mind them. They're kind of fun to me.
Can you get in some of mine then? Lord knows if I gotta walk in the house another time while she's watching a Notebook and she be like, wouldn't you want to die like that? Being in an old folks home in a bed. And I'm like, first of all, look, I could think of worse ways to die. That's true. But why I gotta die just because you die? like why did Noah have to die just because she had Alzheimer's? Like, he still had all his faculties in place.
But he died anyway.
So he was supposed to love her so much that when she died, he was like, fuck it. I'm out.
Yes.
You know what? I love you so much that I'm going to remind you that you know who the fuck I am every day by telling you a story about you almost leaving me for a rich dude. I'm just saying, is that not what the fuck happened?
Exactly what happened. and he wrote her a letter every day.
That I had to beg you to not be with this rich dude. And now that you done lost all your memory, I got to remind your punk ass of how good I've been to you.
He's not wrong.
No, he's not.
I got to remind your punk ass how good I've been to you. And then when you die, I got to be like, you know what? I love you so much that even though I've spent most of my life basically begging somebody to think I was good enough for them, that now I'm gonna die.
We all do.
Oh my God, what's going on, Country Boy?
Man, that is hilarious.
I ain't seen Country Boy in a minute, boy. He came in at the right time.
I'm just saying. See, maybe you have better hypotheticals than me, because my hypotheticals always involve either me dying or like me trying to recover for some fucked up male thing that somebody did on the show, and I'm just like, man, I don't want no parts of this, man. Like, I don't know.
Oh damn! Wow. I don't want to love nobody like that. I'm sorry if it's your time to go, but that's between you and God. We are not a team.
Hey, look, see, here's the thing. I would have appreciated the movie a little bit more if we found out Noah was sick. Like, if he was sick too, cool. Yeah. Let y'all die at the same time. Man, that dude seemed like he was in perfectly good health. He had all his faculties in place.
He did.
The only thing that dude was suffering from was basically being a lifelong trick. That's the only thing he was suffering from.
A lifelong trick.
Wow.
He was a lifelong simp. Like,
he just summed up the Notebook in like 5 minutes. Man. Oh, this is hilarious.
And she was like, "Do you think our love can do anything?" No, I think this nigga did anything because he loved you. Like, I don't think that was a collaborative love. I think he loved you so much, it completely overlooked all the foul shit you did.
You ain't wrong. You are not wrong.
And here's the thing. I don't know if he died with her, or basically once she died, he was at peace enough to die as well.
Wow, boy. The Moby take
on the Notebook.
Hilarious.
Jesus. That's hilarious. I need a clip of that, boy. that shit needs to get out into the world.
A lifelong trick.
I'm just saying, like, he ain't had the money. He was like, I don't have the money, but I got this house. I'll be good to you. And then she still ran off with the nigga with money.
Sure did.
And then when she showed up, he was supposed to be so thrilled that the prize came back that now he spent the rest of his life trying to make her happy. Even when she started to fucking forget who he was like, no, it's cool. You didn't know who I was back then either, so this is nothing new. So I'm going to remind you every day how good I was to you. Like, because at no part in his story did I really feel like she had been good to him. Like, the whole story was basically, hey, here's how good I was to you. Do you remember me now? And then she was like, oh, yeah. And just like a woman, of course, it was only short term, because it was just like, oh, yeah, but you know what? I'm going to forget it in a minute anyway. But I bet if he'd have did something foul, she would remember that shit.
I can't find a lie, Ruben. Can you find a lie?
No.
I can't find one.
Moco Cowboy. Well, the story was one-sided.
Exactly.
Aren't all romantic movies like that one-sided to start with? They're not for us to begin with. We had this conversation.
Nah, not at all.
They're not for us.
You know what else isn't for us? So I'm watching this clip, right? And somebody's like, it was a clip with Anna Kendrick and Trevor from The Daily Show. And after the show, he would do these things where the audience would just talk to the audience, and they got to ask questions, doing commercial breaks or whatnot. So Anna Kendrick came out and was like, yo, blah, blah, blah. And after they got through those niceties, a person in the crowd asked a question. And the woman was like, yeah, you're on my husband's list. The fuck? Trevor was like, what are you talking about? Well, apparently there are people out here who have a list, and it's 5 people who they could, if something were to ever happen and they come in contact, they could have sex with them. All right. AKA the hall pass. So I know Moby stepped out for a second. Maybe he stepped out for the segment. He's not trying to incriminate himself. I don't know. I mean, but he ain't something to talk about him. So, AG, I know what we said in the meeting, and I understand that. But first of all, have you heard of such thing
Absolutely.
as the 5-person list?
Mhm.
And then second of all, I'm not going to ask you if you have one, but I will ask, do you or your wife have a hypothetical one?
Okay, number one, yes, you can ask, because that's the question. And it's a very interesting question to ask people, because I want to hear how they respond. Some people lying, because there are couples out there, postmodern, new age couples, that have this stuff.
Yeah.
Because they think it's healthy. I personally don't think it's healthy. My particular situation, I got married late in life. I got married when I was 45.
Yeah.
So I had time to think about my own hall pass before it would have been a hall pass. I made sure I married my hall pass. So I don't look at a woman with a nice rack and go, yeah, because my woman has a nice rack.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't look at all the things that, you know, hall pass consist of and go, okay, yeah, be that one and that one and that one. No, I made sure that I got as close to a hall pass as possible to begin with. It's not healthy, but it's a real thing.
Okay.
It's a real thing.
So you don't particularly participate in such things?
No.
Now, would it be far enough to ask? I assume your wife does not either?
No.
Because you are together, so. Okay.
Yes. Well, see,
right.
that doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. You have to marry someone, especially nowadays. You have to marry someone in which you know when they marry, they marry.
Well, that's why I said it, because especially like you said, with the modern couples, this relationship thing has become a little more open. Like, you know, there are couples out there who are married, they have kids, but they have sex with other people as well, because that's how their relationship is shaped.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they love each other and they love having sex with each other. However, they also love having sex with other people and knowing about it. Yes, and they know about it. They call them swingers, or they call them people who cheat on their significant others, and they may not let them know all of it, whatever you want to call it. So, okay, cool. Mo B, do you have this thing such as a hall pass? And if you do, if you care to tell me, is there like a list of people who ever came in your life and said, yo, I'm trying to bang that out? Your wife gives you full approval to do such.
The idea of a hall pass is very utopian as far as I'm considered. So like I don't even think about it. Now, I am a realist, and by realist, I realize that yes, I totally agree with you, AG. The idea of having like an actual hall pass is unhealthy. However, I do realize that there are hypothetical situations that probably will never arise. But if that situation did arise, I would probably be like, all right, I understand. Like, look, if for some strange reason Pharrell came to my house, my wife would be like, hey, I'll be back in a little while. And I would just be like, hey, you know what?
Is that mostly because of his music side?
Bro, I fucking
It
find
has
out.
to be, because he
looks like I'm not saying he looks like an alien. I'm just saying that.
Bro, I am not going to judge somebody else's appeal to someone else. Like, she had a thing for Pharrell. So it's like, whatever. I just know that, like, if that happened, I'm losing that battle. As AG said, it's a competitive landscape. So if Pharrell came and was like, hey, I'm trying to take her. I mean, look, I think she loves me. I'm pretty sure of it, but I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure she might be like, once in a lifetime opportunity. And look, I don't know how I feel. I'd probably be like, yeah, you know, that's effed up. But at the same time, I mean, look, I don't know. I'm not good at putting myself in a hypothetical situation. Would I be hurt by it? But I'd be like, yeah, but you know, it's money. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I get it. It's money, it's appeals. Because I'm gonna say, I'm gonna let you know, and I let her know when we were at the concert. If Sade would have been like, hey, what's up? I'd have been like, I'll let you later, one. See you tomorrow. I mean, I ain't going nowhere, but I'm saying like, you know, it's like sometimes you gotta let some shit slide.
Are we talking young Sade or are we talking current Sade?
It doesn't matter, Sade, bro. She looks pretty good right now.
I'm about to say she still look good, dog. Like,
I got a thing for older women to start with. I already know.
She still look good. Young Sade, I mean,
it would be over.
It wouldn't even been a question.
He wouldn't even got married.
Yeah, you might be right. You might be right.
Would you have impregnated Sade?
You'd have tried.
I mean, look, practice makes perfect, baby.
Which practice?
I mean, there's only one way to practice making babies.
All right.
I mean, and once again, like, but the reason I can laugh and joke about this, because I mean, honestly, are these realistic situations? No. But like the idea of actually having like, yeah, you know, if so-and-so that works at so-and-so, like, if she ever gave me a chance, would that be cool with you, baby? Fuck, I wouldn't even try to have that conversation. That's what?
And I'm
glad. Are you serious?
I don't consider a hall pass. My thing is, okay, when somebody says a hall pass to me, I'm thinking somebody that is attainable. Because Lauren and I were talking about before I got on, and I was like, when she was working, I pointed out I just was like throwing people out there. I really don't care for any of these people, but it's just like I threw out her principal. And I was like, if I had a chance to hit that, it's like, you can't, nah, man. That's a hall pass.
Was she cute?
No, that's why I threw it out. That's never gonna happen. Even if she wanted me, it's never gonna happen.
Well, I'm just asking how cute she was.
And she's okay. I mean, you know, standard, but it's not anything that I'd be like, yeah, no, I'm good. I'm gonna hit that. No. So, but I'm saying it's just like that is a serious hall pass because see, that's swinging. Really?
So would you say your chances of hitting that were just as much or similar to the chance of what was that elementary school show? That's on ABC. What was on ABC, but they're striking. I can't remember the name of the show. But like one of the teachers, the dude, Chris, who played Everyone Hates Chris, like the principal or the vice principal she's a cougar. She wants to get with him. And she always makes like the most lewdest comments ever.
Okay.
Like when they're by themselves, it's
Abbott
like Abbott Elementary. Yeah. She makes like the most nastiest comments. And then he looks at the TBS on the side, is like, she for real? And he be just like, nah, player. So, Black Morticia Adams, shit, a hall pass is for students needing to use the restroom or water, not for grown men and women. Motherfucker, you cheating.
But I mean, is she wrong?
Once again, that's why I said my hall pass scenario is like, hey, like some celebrity type person. I'm just like, hey, whatever. Not some actual person we run into on a daily basis. Like, shit. I wouldn't even know how to have that conversation.
I mean,
actually, I do know how to have that conversation. I'm not. I know I'm not having that conversation.
And then Black Morticia said, I can't say nothing. I want to help Anthony Hamilton's beard.
I want you to help it too. And that might not even be the context in which you're talking, but I just want every grown man who feels like he has to grow facial hair, at least let the hair touch, man.
Bro, he's got somebody tell him to shave that shit.
He's got like little islands of facial hair. Like,
it's the Puerto Rico Islands down there, man. It's like the worst shit ever. I mean, I used to have that, so I understand. And every time it would happen, I fuck this. You're not getting me out there like that. No. Yeah, man. And nobody has told him. Some woman probably told him it was cute. And that's why he's like, well, shit, women think it's cute. And I'm thinking to myself, bro, you just look like you don't believe in shaving.
Here's the thing, man. I've learned in my years, there's always somebody that thinks something is cute. There's somebody out there for everyone, man. There's always somebody that is just attracted by the most ridiculous of shit.
So Black Morticia Adam there says one side is before the fire, the other side is after fire.
You know what? Y'all
She ain't
mean.
wrong.
That's just mean.
She ain't wrong.
I ain't say she was wrong. I just said it was mean.
Oh my God.
Only you
Awesome.
can prevent forest fires.
Oh my God.
Yeah, prevent forest fires by shaving that beard off. God. Awesome. So AG, man, what's on your mind?
My wife and I went to a concert she wanted to see this weekend. Great concert, by the way, and it was in Wolf Trap. I've been wanting to get her to Wolf Trap because I think of the outdoor venues, and to my knowledge, that's got to be the second best one in the country. It's certainly the best one in Virginia. Anyway, the thing was, I looked over at her. I've been telling her this the whole time, but I looked over at her and I was like, you know what? You were so sick. I could be looking at an empty seat right now. And I just want to just give her a shout out that I am thankful that she's around to get back some of the year that she lost. So it was a good weekend. So that's what's on my mind.
Awesome. Congrats. Tell her that we say hi. All right, Mo B, what's up? What's on your mind, sir?
Rec football again, man.
Yes,
we're back.
Yes, Tales of the Gridiron. Yes, it's back. I've been waiting for weeks.
It's not going to be as exciting as you think, but
yeah, that's what you say every week.
That's what you say right now.
Nah, man, it's really not. I feel like I should have chose something else to be on my mind because like now I'm scared I'm gonna let you down.
Right. No, you make his week when you come up with the
man. You never let us down because you're gonna say something.
Look, man. Shout out to our team, man. We're 2-0, and we beat an organization. Actually, we had the organizational shutout sweep. So we played Dinwiddie County, and at every age level, we won and we pitched a shutout.
Nice.
Wow.
So Dinwiddie's fan. No, they're actually one of the best programs here. So that means all day Saturday from about 5 o'clock until 11 o'clock at night, there were like no cheers from Dinwiddie's fans, even though it was played at their field.
Oh, y'all went to their place and did this?
Yeah, it was.
Ouch. Domination.
I mean, look, I'd love to say domination, but we've won both of our games 6-0. And one went into overtime 6-0, and the other one we scored with a minute left to go in the game. So our offense isn't doing anything dominating right now.
They didn't score. No one scored.
Sure.
Who coaches defense?
You don't really dumb it down like that, man.
Who coaches defense?
I coached the defense, but
all right,
exactly.
No.
Why are you trying to hide behind this?
I'm not going to take credit for our defense having some dogs. I will take credit for some of the disorganization our offense has, but our defense has some dogs. Like we got kids that just get after it. In
he don't want to be Belichick.
I mean, no, it's not even that, man. Like there was some. Honestly, I was more disappointed in Dinwiddie's coaching because, like, I knew every play they were going to do, and I was just like, "Damn, yeah, don't have to be this obvious. Just because y'all are bigger and faster and stronger doesn't mean you don't get to think." Like they just did no thinking. But that's not what I'm talking about. What I really wanted to talk about was, hey, parents, man, know your kid. Just know your kid, and a lot of parents suffer from this idea that youth sports is somehow about their kid. And it's not just about your kid. I get you pay your money for your kid to play and you think every kid should play just as much because, quote unquote, it's just a game. Yes, it's also a game in which people lose their lives, get paralyzed, break bones, tear ligaments. So just because you don't care about your son's well-being doesn't mean I don't care about your son's well-being. No. This ain't the parents ain't shit part, because honestly, we have not had a lot of the ain't shit parents. We've had the parents don't understand life. And here's the thing, life lesson. When your kid plays a sport, all people ain't created equal. Some people are bigger, some people are faster, some people are stronger, some people are gifted with athleticism because they had good genetics, and some people are your kids who, hopefully they're smart.
Some people.
I'm just saying, hopefully they're smart. I mean, look, man, I bet some of these kids are really good at math, man, and really good at science. And like, look, those are important people. Like those are engineers and future doctors. But hey, man, some of them ain't getting no athletic scholarship. So like, if you're really upset about the amount of playing time your kid's getting, maybe you should have your kids studying right now instead of being at practice. Like, and here's where all this stems from, man. In the first game, I had a parent do something that has never happened in all my years of coaching. I am on the sideline. Like literally, I am less than a yard from the actual playing field. It is 3rd down and something. We're in a 0-0 game midway through the 3rd quarter, and I'm getting ready to call a play. Somebody taps me on my shoulder. Now, I started to turn around and cuss the little motherfucker out because I just assumed that some player was like tapping me on my shoulder. So I turn around, and it's somebody's mom. First of all, they're not supposed to be on the field of play, period. We can actually get fined for that, get a penalty for that, because you have to have a certification that you're a coach to be on the field. But I'm going to get past all that.
The fence is there.
Yeah.
For a reason.
So the question that I was posed caught me so off guard that I had to get another coach to call the next couple of defensive plays because I was so baffled at what was going on. She taps me on the shoulder and she goes, "Is my son being punished?" Now, here's the thing. We got a lot of kids out there. Do you think I recognize who the fuck you are to know who your son is?
Parents say shit.
Because I didn't know who she was, so I didn't know what kid she was referring to. So my next question is, who are you talking about? And then she says the kid's name, and I go, why would you think he's being punished? What did he do? Because now I'm confused because I'm thinking, did something happen behind me? Like, is something going on? Am I so engulfed in the game that I missed a fight or something that happened behind me? And she goes, yeah, he hasn't been in the game at all. And my response to her was, there's a couple players who haven't been in the game. What's your point? And she's like, well, he hasn't been in the game all game, so I'm just wondering, is he being punished for something he did? Now, it took everything in me because I'm not good at talking to parents. And when I say I'm not good at talking to parents, it's not that I like want to be rude or anything. I'm not good at lying about who a kid is or what a kid is. So all I simply said is, hey, it's just the way the game's played out right now. We got every intention of trying to get every kid in the game. Just, you see, it's a tight game. It's just the way it's shaked out. Your kid has done nothing wrong. No reason to punish him. And she says, well, I just don't think it's fair that everybody doesn't get to play. So I walked away from her because at that point in time, I realized we were not going to have a conversation that was going to be amicable from here forth out, because who the fuck cares about fairness for your kid? This is a team sport. And the learning thing he should be getting is, if I'm not good, I need to work hard. And sometimes people are better at things than me. I can either quit or I can work harder. And the reason I say that is because my daughter at one point in time was one of those sorry people. Kira was not very good at basketball when she first started. She had all the heart, all the desire, none of the skill. And she did not get discouraged. Well, she did, but she did not get discouraged to the point where she wanted to quit. She got discouraged to the point where she works really hard. She's probably the hardest working 12-year-old I've seen at any athletic venture. Like, she wants to work all the time at basketball. She scored 19 points in the first 3 quarters of her first game. People who hadn't seen her play in a year and a half, she's unrecognizable. That's hard work. It's not just talent. It's not just genetics. That's working hard. That is what rec sports is supposed to be about. It's supposed to be about, hey, if you really enjoy doing this, you'll work hard. Because in my head, I'm thinking, no, your kid's not being punished. I'm being punished because you brought your kid here. Because people like you exist. Because if I could have an honest conversation, if she'd have came to me after the game, first of all, I don't know why she's coming to me. I'm not the head coach. But if she'd have came to me and had an honest conversation, I'd be like, hey, your son's scared of contact. And if your son's scared of contact, I'm not going to put him in a game against another team that's really, really tough, that can't wait to kill your kid. Because if he's scared of the people that we practice with on our own team, who are all friends and don't want to hurt anybody, if he goes to a group of people that don't like him and would love to make him part of their highlight reel, they might murder your son. I'm thinking about all these things, and I get it. You paid your money. You want to see your kid play on Saturday. I would love to see your kid play too. I'd also like to see him actually practice hard, or actually be able to run one lap around the field without crying, or remember what position he plays, even though we keep putting him in that same position every day. Like, it's, if you want to know why your kid isn't playing, come to practice. Now, she did ask me weeks ago, how's my son doing? And I gave her the political answer, which is, hey, he's got a long way to go, but he's getting there, which is true. It's true. It's his first year playing football. I ain't trying to say everybody should be in the NFL, but if you know it's your kid's first year in football and you know how timid your son is, there's some big ass kids out there who would love to drag your son. Just drag your son, put the nuts all on his face mask, point to him, take a piss on him if they could. You know what I'm saying? Like, do jail poses beside his corpse on the field. That's how kids think. If you're not going to be responsible enough of an adult to just ask the coach, hey, is my son not playing because he's not good, or is he doing something wrong? I would say, hey, your son's not very good right now, and that's okay. You don't have to be at 11. Like, you don't have to have this shit figured out at 11. But I don't want to put your son in the game and he sucks. Because if you say this is bad for his mental health that he's not playing, no, you know what's bad for your mental health? A concussion. A concussion, and then having the rest of the team be mad at you all next week in practice because your ass got ran over. You gave up the only touchdown of the game. You lost the game for us, and now you're going to get picked on all day in middle school because middle school kids are the fucking worst. So parents, I care about your kids. Even if your selfish ass just wants to brag about your non-athletic son playing on Saturday. That's what's on my mind.
Because middle school kids are the worst.
Tales from the gridiron.
Right?
Love it.
Life. A football life.
I almost feel like, unfortunately, and I would never ask you to do this, AG, but I almost feel like I wish we could take all the Tales from the Gridiron from last year and just put it in one episode, and like from September last year for each week, and then just put it that Tales from the Gridiron special episode. That would be the greatest shit ever.
Ruben, can you please put Black Morticia's last comment up there? Because I would like to address that as well.
His daddy used to play normally. What they say? What?
Yes, normally they say, well, his daddy used to play football. Yes, and his daddy sucked. This is what it is, man. His dad probably wasn't no good either. And if his dad was good and his son out here looking terrible, shame on him. Shame on him. He should have taught him something. Like, look, if my daughters were on the basketball court still being just trash, that's a me problem. That's me. That means either I didn't bleed enough genetics into them, or I didn't nurture them enough to actually help them with the game. That is a me thing. So if you feel like somehow you putting your boy on the field should just be automatic because you used to suck his daddy's dick under the bleachers after high school. Like, look, I don't care how good his daddy is. I care about what's happening now. Like, I care about the now.
What in the world?
Tales from the Gridiron.
I'm just saying, how many people played high school football? There are a lot of people that played high school football. I know a lot of people who played high school football. A lot of them weren't fucking good. They just played high school football. I'm not even saying I was good. I was better than their daddy, probably.
Ma'am, his daddy won't shit. Your son ain't shit.
Or actually, Black Morticia Adams, what I would like to say sometimes if the daddy was sorry, well, his daddy used to play. Well, hopefully you gave him some of your genetics.
Oh, God. Moco Cowboy wishes his hard not team. I'm just saying, AG, if you ever get really bored and you want to put something like that together from last season and we can call it a season 1, that'd be awesome. That's all I'm gonna say on that.
When did all this start? In September?
Oh, September to it was December because they were playing in the playoffs.
Be crazy if John Frusciante was still 11. Oh man, that'd be hilarious.
I mean, we got.
Hey, but shut up, man. We 2-0. We've scored a combined 12 points in 2 games. We've given up 3 first downs, and
nice.
No, 4. I think we gave up 4. Doesn't matter. We didn't give up any points.
So you broke. You ain't been once. So good stuff.
Yeah. Man, we got athletes, man. We got a kid that's just a savage out there, man.
Scared everybody to death.
No, because he ain't that big. He ain't big. He's just relentless, man. Kid's relentless, man.
Man. Woo. All right. Thank you, Moby, for another Tales of the Gridiron. I'm excited for season 2 of Tales from the Gridiron, man. You thought you were gonna deliver. You always deliver.
Every time.
Every time.
You say so, man.
Man.
Here we go with that. If you say so.
I'm just saying, like, I didn't think it was that exciting. I just want to, remind parents, man, like, some of us coaches, like I'm really not out there just about wins and losses. I know a lot of people say that, but no, I really am not there just about the wins and losses. But I will not put a kid out there that's scared.
That ain't ready. Yeah.
And that ain't ready. And I'm like, yo, I get it. You pay your money, so you feel like your kids have playing. But there's a reason that in the rec football rules, they don't put a required amount of time for them to play, because they know it's a safety thing. It, like basketball, baseball, I get it. Everybody should get to play because, people ain't trying to physically harm you in that sport.
Yeah, soccer, same thing. So, awesome. Thank you, sir. So, what's on my mind? 2 things. First thing is, went to a wine tasting today. Not a wine tasting. What are those things called? Crap. It's like a wine tasting thing, but it's with a whole bunch of wine people out there, and I can't remember the name of it. Whatever.
Wine Fest?
Wine Fest, yes. Went to a Wine Fest today. And so here's the funny part, right? And I said this to I was with some friends, and I was looking around. For the first thing, I was like, black men are messing up. And my friend was Caucasian. He was like, "What do you mean?" I was like, look around here, man. There are some things out there. And there are some people, there are some women who I wouldn't consider things, but they're dressing like they were some things. And when I say things, I mean things with an A. There's things out there. And if, once again, some of them things won't my cup of tea, but they somebody's cup of tea.
So basically you were saying there was some size 16s wearing some size 8s.
I mean, there's a size everything. So we'll put that out there. But here's the thing. They were with other women. And I get it, a lot of women go to Wine Fest, get boozed up. Cool. Bro, first of all, I get it, man. We as black men are just like, man, I'm not going out there for that bullshit. I'll just sit home and watch football. You can go here with your friends, baby. Bro, so you're basically sending them to Jamaica by themselves. I mean, they made a movie about that shit. Hold on a second. They made a movie about that shit. Just being real. Yes, Moby.
Your single is showing.
I understand that. But
just your single showing.
I'm just saying. Let me explain. However, there are a lot of Caucasian men out there with their Caucasian women, whether wives, girlfriends, whatever. Why? Because they knew better. Because, they drunk some wine, but you can look at some of their faces. I don't fucking want to be here. I want to be watching football. I want to be doing something like that. But you know what? They understand that they won't go out there. They won't go let their significant others go out there in sundresses and all this other shit looking extremely cute. Nah, man, I ain't doing that. We going together. And all I'm saying is sometimes we got to do better because, Stella Wynn got her groove back. I mean, you mess around and your lady gonna get another groove, especially if you ain't doing them things right. So that's number one. I want to put that out there. Number two, I don't really watch. No, let me change that. I watch, reality TV. Moby knows. Like, there's some things I watch, but there's some things I don't watch either. Because I'm like, hell no, I'm not watching that. I'm not gonna lie, man. I'm more interested instead of wanting to watch it. This Golden Bachelor shit is, first of all, in the commercial, he says, I've never dated 20 women before, but I'm about to do that. Bro, like, come on, man. You're like over 50 years old and you're about to date these older women. And there's some black women in there too. I saw the commercial. Yo, man.
Are they all older women though?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. They're all over 50, from what I understand. Well, at least I know he's 50. There are no younger chicks. Like, there are like even the black women are like older. You can tell. And so, I'll probably be at the Y-Fest again. Hopefully I'm with somebody else. But the thing about it is, yo, man, usually what they do with the younger kids is they booze them all up and stuff like that. So, of course, drama ensues. So my thought is, well, you probably can't booze up a lot of these old women. But then again, having come from a wine fest,
I was about to say, nah, you wrong about that,
bro. It might not be no alcohol. It might be a whole lot of wine flowing.
I mean,
bro,
wine is alcohol. Just I don't.
Well, I mean, like, it might not be no grain alcohol, and shit like that. But it ain't gonna be no scotch and shit. He might have scotch. He also might have wine. I don't know. But it's just like, I'm thinking, man, this either excuse me, this either gonna be the biggest train wreck ever, which means it's gonna get crazy ass ratings, or it's gonna be boring as shit. I don't really know. And I was with my friend and his significant other, and she was like, I don't really watch The Bachelor or The Bachelorette, but I might check out the first 2 episodes of that because, man, let's be real. Like, catty 50-year-old women, I don't know, man. I might be here for that shit. That
shit look,
might be great.
a whole nation was here for Golden Girls.
That's true.
We was all about Golden Girls.
I mean, but yo, man, I don't know, man. I don't think I would watch it live. I would probably DVR the first 2 episodes just to see what kind of craziness. That way, if I want to fast through some shit, I can. But bro, man, all I'm saying is that shit looks interesting. Just because we're talking about old people, and I would say, women get cattier the older they get. Would that be a fair statement, gentlemen?
You can say that on your own, bro. I'm good over here.
Thanks for riding with me, buddy.
I'm good over here. I say enough stuff that I get criticism for. I'm gonna let you have that one by yourself.
Well, all I'm saying is that might be that. Like I said, that's either gonna be like the greatest shit ever or the worst shit ever. And I watched a thing on Fuse, like, what was it? Dark Side of the 90s, and they had an episode on the Bachelor and how all that came to be, in the backgrounds about that and all that. And pretty much they were saying the person who used to do it, who owned it before, even the producers would be drunk. If you didn't drink at all times, like, you would get fired. So, yeah, man, this, like I said, this shit's either gonna be real interesting or a bore. But I might be here for like at least 2 episodes. We might see. I'm kind of curious on what the women are gonna do, because how they do some special shit, to make them memorable. I don't know. A 57-year-old woman doing some special shit might be should be on ABC, but we'll see.
I mean, look, can you stop referring to them as like old women? Because I ain't seen.
I said older.
I'm just saying, but I ain't seen none of the commercials. But I bet all of them look good. I mean, I bet all of them still look good because they're not about to put ugly people on TV. That's just not gonna happen. So it don't matter what the age is; they just not gonna put ugly people on TV, man.
So and that's the other thing, right? Because I was also corrected earlier with my friend's significant other. She was like, "Yeah, I think he's like 65," and I'm just like, "What?" He looks old as shit. I mean, he looks like he's 60s. So we'll see. Black Morticia Adams removing the teeth and not using hands. Oh God!
Hey, look, just because they old don't mean they don't still get down.
And that conversation came up too. I mean, they all got to be clean. So he might be not pulling out. I mean, I don't know.
I mean, let's be real. At that age, are they even still worried about pulling out?
Well, and that's what she brought up. She was like, "Well, they all been through menopause."
But shit, what are they worried about?
Look, an AG over there, pearl collection. So
I'm just saying, when the last time you seen some 65-year-old dude being like, "Oh shit, I gotta go buy me some rubbers."
Well, in their defense, rubbers do have a dual purpose. I'm just saying.
Once again, AG, you're right. There's a dual purpose. Your ass old, man. What you gonna get?
Have you talked to anybody that works in an old folks home?
Yeah,
man. No. Once again, it all goes around in there.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. Gonorrhea running rampant up in there and everything else. That's what I'm saying. It has a dual purpose.
That shit running rampant everywhere.
I mean, I don't know about all that.
Y'all tripping because you think old people nasty as they want to be.
I mean,
first of all, AG, that's what I'm saying. I'm agreeing with that statement. Like, I don't think just because they old mean they ain't getting down.
What I'm saying is just like they need to put a rubber on anyway. They ain't trying to have no babies, but you need to stop that. Man,
but you got to realize they all get tested, so they all got to be clean to walk up in there. So if somebody walks out that's not clean, that means that's a producer, and that's a whole different situation right there. But yeah, Black Morticia house gonna smell like Bengay and mothballs.
Wow.
And white diamonds.
You know what?
And she's like, "Nah, them eggs are fried and scrambled." Jeez. Black Morticia Adams.
It's gonna be a lot of brute aftershave going on in there.
I've heard that name in 30 years. You said brute.
Man, somebody's getting in a fight. I'm here for that, man. I want to see two old chicks go at it, not go front.
I don't think you're gonna see the fights like that. Like that's the one thing that I think you might see very limited of. You might see some arguments. You might see some insults being slung around. The actual fisticuffs, the brouhaha. I don't know. I don't know about that.
But you know one thing we might hear though. We're
gonna hear some hussies. We might hear some hussies, heifers, skeezers, skanks, whores. Well, you gotta pronounce the whore. You gotta say that W in front of it. Whore.
Hey, wait a minute. Are we gonna hear hussy?
Oh yeah, we gonna hear hussy. We're gonna hear hussy. We're gonna hear heifer.
Get that heifer ass out of here. Oh my God. So yeah, that's what's on my mind though, because I'm just look. I don't watch that shit, but I can imagine the CF that's gonna be, man, and I'm here for it. I'm here for that. I just am, and woo! It ain't no Tales of the Gridiron, but damn it, it's gonna come close probably. So, well, but once again, we like to thank y'all for giving us a long amount of your time tonight. Thank you for those who are listening. Thank you to AG and Moby for hanging out with me again. Hey, tell a friend, tell an enemy, just tell somebody about us. Sundays, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time until we finish, which, yeah, you got an extra one today. But yeah,
it's a 2-part episode right here.
Oh, wait a minute. Black Morticia Adams, her personal favorite, Jezebel.
I love that too.
Yeah.
Jezebel.
And David King wants to let you know, Moby, that he hates the Raiders. So, all right.
I
Yeah.
feel you.
But yeah, thanks for checking us out. If you didn't get a chance to listen to all of it, it'll be on the podcast version wherever you get your podcast. Please go ahead and sign and like and all that stuff. Go to YouTube, like us on YouTube, so when we come on, it sends you a message saying, "Hey, they're about to go on." Same thing with Twitch as well. But once again, thank you for joining us today. We will see you next Sunday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and of course, as we always do, and as we always say, love, peace, hair grease, soul, and deuces.
Later, have.
Email us at 5minutewarning19@gmail.com. And also leave comments on Facebook and Twitch. Search 5 Minute Warning. Contact us on Twitter at AG_FMW Podcast, at Newsman25, at FMW 2019. Contact us on Instagram, Moby 5 Minute Warning, AG_5 Minute Warning, Newsman25. You can listen to the podcast at Apple Podcast, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcast. Thank you for listening. This has been another episode of